I grew up in Germany until I was about 12 years old, then migrated to Australia, where I have lived most of my life. Little did I know that I would end up at this stage in life to be producing plush toys of quality that would be distributed around so far 21 countries around the world. We started to study the anatomy of these animals, working with zoos, wildlife organizations. With our design team, now produce the finest reproduction plush toys in the world.
We have almost 5,000 items that had been created since we started, and most of the items that I have that I had made, actually I haven't seen in real life. It's all on the reference book, videos, and pictures only.
Actively, we sell constantly around about 2,000 different items. We spend many hours on reproducing the fabrics. We study, we take a lot of photographs, we collect actually pieces of skin and fur. For instance, you take the lion material. We find it is 4% in black. We find it has a cream in it of around about 26%. We find it has caramel of around about 45%. Then we measure the gauge of the individual hair to find out what denier it is. Now, if it is a 2 denier, and we find that some of the fur that sticks up is around about a 12 to 15 denier, some of the fine underlying fur is down to a 1 denier. So this is the research, and it takes years and years. We have a total of more than 600 different fabrics that make up our collection of wild animals. I'm often asked about how do we maintain quality? Well, our secret behind that is training. Once having trained people, it is just so important to retain people. The average tenure is around about 9 years, and most people who've started with us are still with us today.
Well, Filipinos are known to be happy people. Okay, so I think it blends well with the product, since we're doing toys and here are people, happy people. Okay, so somehow it shows in the product, in the end product. Okay, and from what I've observed, people here are passionate with their work. Why did I say that? Because like most of them, they've been with us for more than 10 years, 5 years. And so they've been with us for a long time. It's really the fulfillment in ourselves, that really makes the difference in working with Hansa.
Commitment. It's nothing but commitment. They're very committed to producing excellent product. They're doing their own quality control. They are there to make that item the best they can. The skills in the Philippines are second to none when it comes to sewing. It takes a long time to get the skills that these people have got. These ladies behind me, some of the older ones on this line, their skill is second to none. Yeah. When you consider they're picking up small part, you probably wouldn't even recognize what it is. They know what it is and put it together.
The average number of pieces that are in a Hansa plush toys are between 55 and 65 pieces. Some items are as many as 120, 140 individual cut parts. That means little cut parts such as this, okay, and smaller still. They have to be sewn inside out, and each operator has to have the ability to be able to recognize these parts and put all these parts together inside out. They don't know how the product looks until it is then finally turned inside out, and it then forms the product. One of the very important features is, of course, quality. And at every stage, quality needs to come first. because that's what our customers expect and what we're known for. Quality does not just mean open seams or a little hole in the product, but it also means that the faces are balanced. The eyes, the ears, the noses, everything is done correctly. And that is checked at every possible station. So first of all, it is checked after the material's been cut. Then after that, we check it again after the sewing. That is then followed by putting the eyes in. And again, there's another quality control station. So one of these long-time operators here, he also operates as our quality control. And that is a very, very responsible job to make sure that the product gets to the consumer in a perfect condition. One of the important aspects of the finishing processes to try and simulate nature is to give the little trimming here. And you can see it here, again with our operators with us for many, many years, is to trim those fine little details like manicuring, okay? To make sure that it really replicates the animal as it is in its natural state. And that is all the hand work, so each one is hand finished with a hand trimming. As in nature, there's a blending of the colors, and when we look at this fine species here, you can see that this is the silverback gorilla, but to get the blending of the colors here, each one is just hand painted and silhouetted in there, just like they are in real nature, and that gives the fine finishing touch. And everything is done individually. There are no two pieces that are alike. Each piece is done by an artist individually. There's some very fine detailing required in the airbrushing, and that is a skill again that takes years and years to learn and to master. This is why our people are with us a long time, because that is the real asset of the company, are the people. So you can see that is the silverback, a beautiful structured animal. And now we've taken the company along the track of animatronics. So to bring further life and realism to the animals, with this white-tailed deer here, full of expressions, really looking at me, and we get great enjoyment of recreating these animals and teaching young people today the preservation, not the killing, but the preservation of these wonderful species.
If I look at other people's products in the marketplace, if you take a glance, it looks okay. But if you look at the detail in general and have a look at the finer points of the product, you see that what we produce here is 99% the real item. If it could get up and growl, it would growl at you, you know? It's that type of product.
We stuff the animal and we sculpture the animal until it feels right and it looks right. So if it has a little more fabric and material in it, that's okay. The product needs to be right, and that is the criteria that we go by. So our operators are not just workers, they're artists in their own right, and they're proud to be artists.
Right at this moment, I can say that I'm producing or I'm creating an art which is I call a self-sculptured art. That's what I'm doing. I was thrilled, but when I'm having this kind of finished product that somebody is really liking it, I would say that probably I'm giving a little bit of justice to the product. I don't know.
We never let it rest, and we simply do better and better and better. And this in humanity. This is what is expected today, that we do better. So each year, as we bring out new collections, is what keeps this company alive. As we bring out new collections, people know Hansa's going to be better this year than last year, and they'll be better again the following year. So because of our strong company motto, to never let it rest until our good is better and our better best.